You think a lot about money. That's the reason why you're watching personal finance channels like this. And you constantly wonder if you're on the right track. Will I have enough money to retire? Am I spending too much? Can I become wealthy one day? All great questions and valid worries. But I'm here to tell you, you might need to worry less than you think because you're already rocking it when it comes to your money. It's not a matter of if you'll become wealthy, but when. So in that spirit, let me share with you 10 obvious signs that show you're destined for wealth and financial success. And hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tay from Financial Tortoise, where we learn to grow our wealth slow and steady. Number one obvious sign you're destined for financial success and wealth. You have a strong career capital. A rare and valuable skill that you're able to trade for consistent and stable income. It may not be a dream occupation. It may not have all the bells and whistles you want in your ideal job, but it's stable and it pays well. It includes many benefits such as health insurance, paid time off, and even access to things like gym membership subsidy or flexible spending accounts. If you've been in this stable employment for a long time, it might not be easy to appreciate all these benefits. But let me tell you, access to employer benefits is a huge perk. According to Anthem, in 2022, the average premium for non-subsidized health insurance for a family of 4 was $1,400 per month. This is over $17,000 annually. Your company may not be covering 100% of your health insurance, but even a percentage of that goes a long way. And these subsidies, in addition to your stable income, plays a foundational role in helping you achieve financial success. I know of many people whom unpredictability with their work situation is the norm. Within 24-hour notice, they could be furloughed and no longer have a job. So if you're fortunate to have a strong career capital that you're able to trade for stable income, let's be thankful and find comfort in knowing that you're on a really good track to financial success and wealth. Number two obvious sign that you're destined for financial success and wealth. You're able to pay your bills on time, full, every single month. While this may not be a big lift for you, understand that not everyone is able to do this. According to the latest US Census Household Pulse Survey, 40% of consumers said it was somewhat to very difficult to pay their usual bills. That's nearly 4 in 10 Americans struggling to pay their bills on time. When you're able to pay your bills on time, it reflects a few things. 1, you not only have a stable income, but it's sufficient to meet your basic needs. 2, you aren't stretching yourself too much beyond your financial capacity. You control yourself to live within your means. And 3, you're responsible when it comes to your financial obligations. You are aware of your due dates, how much is due, and you have a process of making your payments. All necessary components to a long-term financial success. As surprising as this might sound, there are many people who aren't even aware of what they owe and to whom. So if you're paying your bills on time, give yourself a well-deserved thumbs up. Another downstream benefit of paying your bills on time is the positive impact it has on your credit score, which leads to a next financial indicator. Number 3 obvious sign you're destined for financial success and wealth. You have a great credit score. Based on major credit bureaus, a good credit is generally reflected by a score of 680 or higher. And only about 30% of Americans have a credit score of 680 or higher. When you have a great score, you're able to reap a lot of benefits. An easier time getting approved for loans, qualify for the lowest interest rates, and other benefits such as access to best credit cards, lower insurance rates, and best rental options. So if you have a great credit score over 680, pat yourself on the back. This is a feat only a small percentage of people are able to achieve. And if you aren't there yet, no worries. If you consistently pay your bills on time, keep a low utilization rate, and maintain this for a long period of time, you will eventually hit it. In the credit score game, it's a matter of when, not if. And if you keep up the good credit score habits, there's a really good chance you will even surpass the good credit score range and achieve the 800 plus credit score one day. Number 4 obvious sign you're destined for financial success and wealth. You're smart enough to keep debt at arm's length distance. You're able to borrow a lot more given your excellent credit score, but you understand the dangers of debt. It's easy money, but also money that can quickly get you into trouble. For many Americans, that is almost unavoidable. It's one of the only avenues in which many of us are able to buy a home, fund education, or buy a car. I'm not a big fan of debt, but I also understand the realities of our situation. But that doesn't mean you should embrace debt and invite it for dinner like your long-lost lover. It should never be used to inflate our lifestyle beyond our means. I like to think of debt like your fourth cousin you have to tolerate a few times a year, but would never invite into your house if you can help it. But if you can see debt as what it is, a sometimes useful but dangerous tool to navigate high expense purchases, congratulations. You know how to use debt when necessary, but you're also very aware of its dangers. And this habit and knowledge will take you far in your wealth journey. Number 5 obvious sign you're destined for financial success and wealth. You think before you spend. You might not have a super detailed budget. You might not keep track of all your expenses to a penny, but you're thoughtful enough to always think twice before making a purchase. In Carl Richard's personal finance book, The One-Page Financial Plan, he discusses what he calls the 72-hour rule, essentially giving yourself a 72-hour waiting period before pulling the trigger on a purchase. You might not follow the specific 72-hour rule, but you do pause and think when making purchases. You don't blindly hit buy on Amazon as soon as you think of something you need or want. You don't just order a special at the restaurant without first asking the price because the waiter is pressuring you. You don't immediately buy the first vacation package you see just because a travel agent is saying you'll miss out on a great deal. You're level-headed and rational, so you pause and think before you hand over your precious money to someone else. And this habit, in addition to all of the habits we've covered so far, will serve you well in your wealth and financial journey. Number 6 obvious sign you're destined for financial success and wealth. You have a good understanding of your overall financial picture. Again, you may not be tracking your finances to a penny, but you have a general understanding of your income, your savings, your obligations, and your expenses. As G.I. Joe famously said, knowing is half the battle. And in the same way, when it comes to our money, knowing where we stand financially is half the battle. The sad fact is that most Americans have no idea where they stand in relation to their money. According to Intuit, 65% of Americans don't know how much they spent last month. And when you don't know how much is coming in every month, how much you have in your bank account, and where your money is going, it's ridiculously hard to achieve financial success. It's like driving a car blind. Imagine if we don't know how fast we're going, where we're at on the road, where the other cars are at, and in which direction we're driving the car. It's only a matter of time before we crash into a tree, the middle divider, or worse, into other cars. In the same way, if we have no idea where we stand with our money, it's only a matter of time before we crash. Therefore, we want to understand where we stand financially. If you want to get better at this, one of the easiest ways to do this is to connect all your accounts to an account aggregator, like Mint or Empower, formerly known as Personal Capital. They provide an easy way to see all your finances in one place, thus allowing you access to data to help you make better financial decisions. So if you have a good understanding of where you stand financially, congrats once again. Number 7 obvious sign you're destined for financial success and wealth. Financial emergencies are more of an inconvenience rather than real emergencies. A crisis becomes an inconvenience when you have an emergency fund. Another sad fact is that according to the latest Bankrate's annual emergency fund report, 57% of Americans can't afford a $1,000 emergency expense. Emergencies like unexpected car accidents, heating and air conditioning systems going out, or unforeseen medical expenses. Events that will likely happen to all of us at least once or many times in our lives. But if you can ride through these emergencies as a minor inconvenience because you have a financial cushion, you are doing well. Unlike many people, you don't have to fall back on credit cards or other high-interest debt to get you through this tough period. You likely have 3, 6, or even 12 months worth of savings in a checking or savings account, thus giving you that life cushion, or bowling bumpers as I like to call it. Again, if you have this level of cushion, give yourself a gold star. You've definitely earned it. Number 8 obvious sign you're destined for financial success and wealth. You recognize mistakes or learning opportunities. Not something that defines you and determines your future. We all make mistakes. I know, because I made my fair share of ones in my life. Actually, more money mistakes than I like to count. Too much student debt, too much car loans, trusting someone else with my money, and rent-to-own furnitures, just to name a few. And many others I'm too embarrassed to mention here. But we all need to recognize that mistakes are a natural part of life and living. The key is, what are we going to do about it? Mope around or learn from our mistakes? Yes, I know, it's hard to acknowledge a mistake as a learning opportunity. Too often, we see mistakes as a failure, and we go into a deeper downward spiral. Why did I borrow so much? Why did I buy that stupid car? Why? But that doesn't do anything for our financial future. Or worse, we dig ourselves into a deeper hole because we repeat these mistakes. But if you see these financial mistakes as a learning opportunity and are moving on, congratulations. Mistakes are some of the greatest teachers, and as long as you're learning and applying those lessons to your future, you're well on your way to financial success. Number 9 obvious sign you're destined for financial success and wealth. You have an investing strategy. A strategy to multiply your money beyond just your income. It doesn't have to be investing in index funds like I encourage in this channel. It could be investing in rental properties, small business, or anything else you deem as a good avenue to multiply your money in the long run. But you need a way to multiply your money in the long run. Money left alone will erode in value due to inflation. $1 today will be worth less tomorrow if you don't find a place for it to grow. So if you have an investing strategy, regardless of how rudimentary it may be, know that you're well ahead of the game. If you're investing in your 401k, funding a Roth IRA, and even have a brokerage account, you're doing amazing. Yes, is there always room to tighten our strategy, ways to lower expenses, optimize taxes, and seek better returns? Of course. But the fact that you have a strategy at all is something to be celebrated. If you're struggling to find an investing strategy, let me share with you mine. Invest as much as possible in low-cost, broad market index funds. Yes, boring and simple, but it works. If you want specifics, some of my favorites are the following. If you're looking for the best total market index funds, the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, also known as VTSAX. The Fidelity Total Market Index Fund, also known as FSKAX. The Fidelity Zero Total Market Index Fund, also known as FZROX. The Schwab Total Stock Market Index Fund, also known as SWTSX. If you're looking for the best S&P 500 large cap index funds, the Vanguard 500 Index Fund, also known as VFQX. FIAX. The Fidelity 500 Index Fund, also known as FXAIX. The Schwab S&P 500 Index Fund, also known as SWPPX. If you pick any one of the ones listed and invest in them consistently, you're surely on your way to financial success and wealth. Number 10 obvious sign you're destined for financial success and wealth. You have money goals and financial plan to arrive at your goals. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. According to Investopedia, only about 30% of Americans have a long-term financial plan. Why so low? Because financial plans and goals are hard. There's so much to life already. Just being able to get ourselves out of the bed and moving is hard enough. So to think that we need a financial plan and goals just feel overwhelming. However, to live our life without a plan and goals, staying in the driving analogy, is like trying to drive from LA to New York without having any sense of direction, understanding of the highways, and a general plan of what route to take. So sooner or later, we end up in Seattle and we wonder why. So if you have a financial plan and goals, no matter how rudimentary it may be, pat yourself on the back. It could be as simple as saving $12,000 by the end of the year by saving $1,000 monthly. Or it could be as intricate as knowing exactly how much you'll have by the time you plan on retiring because you have a 16-tab Excel spreadsheet that forecasts 8 different investment portfolio outcomes. Regardless of which type, if you're even thinking about this and have written something down, you have more than most people. When we write things down, we're allowing ourselves to visualize our future. And that in itself will go a long way to help us arrive at our destination. Thank you guys for watching. In the spirit of financial progress, if you'd like to learn about some of the great money rules of thumb and ratios to add to your toolkit, please check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.